Hey there, welcome to Splatoon 2, where we enjoy listening to music from Inkling idols and smashing the A button! Hey everyone, and welcome to Splatoon 2. You might be watching this video because you heard about the Splatoon Demo that's available so that anybody can play for free, or maybe you're just interested in learning how to get acquainted during your first steps in Inkopolis Square. Either way, I'm glad you're here. And we'll get started by going over some of the basic functions of the game and all of the game modes that'll be available to you. So Splatoon is a pretty simple game to learn, but it's also really tough to master. It plays like any other third-person shooter, where ZR is used to fire your weapon, R is for your sub-ability, and clicking down on the right stick is your special. But what makes Splatoon stand out is how ink coverage affects the gameplay. You see, you can move a lot faster by holding ZL and swimming through your team's ink. Likewise, the enemy will also be slowed down by your ink's team color, and vice versa. And speaking of which, let's talk about the first game mode that you'll interact with, which is conveniently called Turf War. Gee, I wonder what that could mean. Turf War is pretty simple. All basic game rules apply, and the team with the higher percentage of ink coverage on the map at the end of the round wins. Kills will help delay your enemy, but it doesn't change the outcome of the game. Use this mode to get acquainted with your controls, movement, weapons, and just see how the game feels. Once you start leveling up, you'll be able to get some weapons from Sheldon and gear from the other vendors. This includes things like hats, clothes, and even new shoes. And then once you reach level 10, you'll be able to try ranked modes. Alright, listen, the modes aren't that bad, but they do have their own little quirks, so let's go over that now. Splat Zones is by far the simplest. It's just like Turf War, but you need to maintain the control of the zones that are marked in the middle of the map. Sometimes there could be just one big zone or two smaller zones, but the ticker at the top of the screen will show you the progress bar, and the team with the lowest timer score at the end of the round wins. Tower control is next, and it's pretty straightforward. Teams will need to push the tower as far as they can by just riding on top, and the tower will stop at checkpoints along the way. It'll reverse directions when the opposing team rides it, and the team that pushes it the farthest wins. Rainmaker is a little more complex. The objective is to carry the golden Rainmaker as far as possible, kind of like pushing the tower in tower control, but teams will have to pop the Rainmaker shield to grab it, and whoever is carrying the Rainmaker is able to use its supercharged shots to help push and deter the enemy team. The enemy that carries it the furthest wins, and you can even carry it all the way to the podium near the enemy spawn point to get a total knockout win. And last is Clam Blitz. This one takes the cake as far as complexity is concerned, so let me try and break it down. Clams will show up randomly scattered across the map, and the objective is to get these clams into the enemy team's basket to bring the counter from 100 down to 0. However, there are quite a few extra rules. First, in order to start throwing clams, you have to break open the enemy's basket using the Super Clam, which is just 10 normal clams collected by the same person. This Super Clam is worth 20 points, but also shows your location across the map to any enemies. And if your barrier gets broken, the other team's basket will retract and be unavailable to attack during this time. Each regular clam is worth 3 points, and it also keeps the basket open for another 3 seconds, and these can all be thrown using A. You can super jump to your teammates while holding clams, including the Super Clam, but be careful when using specials like Splashdown or super jumping back to your spawn, because you'll lose your clams or even destroy them. Don't feel bad if you don't pick up this game mode right away, it's definitely the most complex. Alright, now one last thing. If you've gotten this far and you feel like player versus player isn't really your speed, you can try something quite different, which is working a shift in Running with Salmons, or just Salmon Run. This game mode is unique from the rest of Splatoon, as it features 4 players versus waves of enemies, and you'll need to defeat the bosses to collect enough golden eggs in the basket to meet the egg quota set for each wave. It's pretty simple at first, and it's nice to just play and not worry about player kills. And even though there's a whole army of different types of salmonids and bosses, it's way too much to cover for just this video, so I encourage you to try it out for yourself and see if you can find the weakness for each boss. At the end of the shift, you'll get a bonus which can give you gold, food tickets for Krusty Sean, or even Salmon Run exclusive gear. Anyway, I think that about wraps it up. There's so much more to explore than what I've covered today, but I totally encourage you to give it a try and see how the game feels for yourself. Don't hesitate to drop any questions in the comment section, and I might do some future videos on Salmon Run and how to prepare for Splatfests, since, psst, by the way, we're getting a return of Ketchup vs. Mayo Splatfest in May! So to stay updated for those videos and know when we livestream, be sure to show the subscribe button some support. Thanks for watching guys, of course, and I'll see you in Inkopolis Square soon!